We have been and we are working hard within Europe, and the 40 MEPs that we've got are doing an awful lot to progress Europe. And although Cameron wants to change Europe, we want to change Europe in a much different way. We want to improve animal welfare, we want to improve workers' rights, we want to ensure that bankers are taxed properly, so the financial transaction tax is something we think could do an awful lot to solving the financial problems within Europe. And we need to make sure that the bankers pay instead of the people paying. And we need to stop talking about growth, because growth is just the amount of money that is spent this year compared to last year. We need to be concentrating on jobs, and there are so many jobs that need doing. And we actually have an awful lot of money. In this country, we're the 6th richest country in the world, but the money is in the hands of a very, very few people. We need to make sure the money is spent on the things it needs to be spent on, and the jobs that need doing get done. We're talking about shortages of childcare in some places and shortages of healthcare in other places, and roads needing repairing in the West Midlands particularly. Those are jobs that need doing, and people need paying for doing them. And at the moment we've got a dreadful minimum wage that is keeping people in poverty, even when they're working 40 hours a week. We were told that not being in the euro would save us from the trouble of the recession, but it hasn't. We've got still more than 2 million people without any jobs at all. More than that doing part-time jobs who don't want to, and 1.4 million people on 0 hours contracts. The people are not feeling any benefits of not being in the euro, but I don't think we should go ahead and join the euro now. I'm glad really that we won't be quite as involved in dismantling it or going on to the next stage as we would be had we joined in the first place. An awful shame that the media in this country is concentrating on whether we should be in or out of Europe, rather than concentrating on what we can get from Europe and what we need to contribute to Europe. People talk about the net money going into Europe, which is relatively little really. It's about as much annually as it's going to cost us to build HS2, and we're getting an awful lot of benefits from it as well. And we need to make sure that the Common Agricultural Policy is working for small farmers in this country. West Midlands is the biggest manufacturing region in Britain. We need to ensure that we have the markets within Europe to sell to, and within Britain to sell to. That's our major market. Migration around Europe is absolutely marvellous. It is wonderful. We have lots of people like yourself coming over here, studying, working hard, doing all sorts of fantastic jobs within Britain, and we have people from this country going over to other parts of Europe, working there and living there. There is certainly a housing shortage around the southeast in places. But when you come further up north, when you actually look round Birmingham, when you go further out into Dudley, where I come from, we have the homes. We need to actually stop concentrating all of our efforts on London and actually bring people out of London and decentralise our country. That's our main problem. Most people agree there are going to be 2 UKIP, 2 Tory and 2 Labour MEPs after the election. It's just whether the 7th is Labour, Tory, UKIP, Lib Dem or me. And as a Green, it would actually show everybody in the West Midlands that we are not a racist area, that people who stand up to UKIP and say we have got to not just accept and tolerate, but celebrate the fact that we've got people from other countries coming over here contributing to our economy. It's a great thing, and I think it would make some of the people I speak to from other countries and 2nd and 3rd generation immigrants who are feeling the racism that is flourishing under the current climate, will make them realise that they have a friend, and the Green Party are their friends, and the people of West Midlands agree that we've got to stop this racism.